Hello everybody and welcome back to the Limbus Company. Alrighty, the time has come for us to continue. Now, couple things real quick. Number one, look at my ID card. Is that not the most beautifully cluttered thing that you've ever seen? I don't think I'm gonna keep it, but it is just so cluttered and messy. It is absolutely, mwah, it's beautiful. Again, I don't think I'm gonna keep it. I think I am gonna go back to the old one that I had, but I wanted to show you this because it is just so beautifully cluttered. Like, it is a mess to look at, but but either way, I was warned in the previous episode that apparently using Mr. Lord of Hongwan just completely skips some fights. So I don't know what fights those will be. And also, apparently it skips fights, it skips mechanics. I don't know where that happens, but I'm gonna guess it's with any of the big fights. So I was advised, if we do want to see every single mechanic, to not use it in some fights. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I don't know what fights it is. I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be obvious. So when we come across it, I'll swap him out. Until then, I am still going to use him, but when we come across one of the skipping mechanics, I will swap him out. That way we can do the complete experience, and I just wanted to say that. Now, without further ado, it's time to continue our training arc. Training complete. Oh, yes. Let the Lord show you how it's done.
상쾌하군.
I mean, you know, training dummies that can't kill you, presumably, is a little bit better than a bunch of dudes with swords trying to kill you. So yeah, it probably is refreshing.
오, 잠이 깨긴 하네 이거.
I did. Every time it catches me off guard, his freaking noises. Oh!
매번 큰일 있기 전에 시비나 걸리고 시작하니까 결국 이렇게까지 몸을 풀어야 직성이 풀리게 되어버렸네요.
We should have a training room on the bus.
그래도 유의미한 준비 운동이었다.
그런데 홍루 씨는 왜 지금까지 가주대전에 참가를 할 생각이 없었던 건가요?
Hasn't he said that? He just doesn't wanna.
다른 형제자매분들은 아주 오래전부터 기다려왔던 것 같아서요.
단순해요. 가주가 되고 싶다고 생각한 적은 한 번도 없었으니까요.
정말로 다행이지 않니? 옥을 물고 태어나지 않았다면 영락 없이 네 다른 형제 자매처럼 가주대전을 준비하며 힘든 시간을 겪어야 했을 거란다. 너는 그런 것에 힘쓰지 않아도 집안 어르신분들과 가무님이 너를 아껴줄 거란다. 그저 많은 것을 보며 살아가다오. 우리 집안의 옥, 소중한 보가.
More memories. What's wrong, Isang? You seem kinda distraught. More so than normal.
어제 파우스트 양이 일컬어 주었던 계획 말이요. 나는 사실 그리 탐탁지가 않소.
You know what? I'm with you. I don't like the word using Honglu either.
저도요. 하지만 홍루 씨가 괜찮다고 하셨으니까요.
그런데 그걸 계획이라고 부를 수가 있는 건가요?
행동의 지침과 기대 목표가 있으니 계획이라는 정의에는 들어맞는다.
그리고 가주대전에 두 번째 기회라는 건 없으니까요.
보옥토라님 외 12인 철벽당 입성하십니다.
Elevated Virescent Jade Hall. So, okay. I still have theories, but I have a new one. Him getting the Jade Eye or whatever, is very much being put as like a, almost like a, like, what's the best way? Okay. You know Avatar, The Last Airbender, right? How, like, there's a 1 in a million chance that someone becomes the Avatar. That's the best way that I can think to make sense of the Jade. Did he get the 1 in a million blessing that basically makes it so he basically doesn't have to do anything to become all-powerful? I feel like that's what's going on here. Obviously, I don't think he's going to master the 4 elements, but the 1 in a million blessing thing, I feel like that's where it's going. Equally, I feel like his family wants him to die for, like, the Jade is, like, immortality or something. I don't know. We'll figure that part out, but still. We entered the hall where the first round was to be held. As always, the servant by the gate announced our arrival with the resounding holler we'd grown to expect.
투기장이나 경기장 같은 형태인가? 보는 눈이 제법 많은 것 같습니다, 관리자님.
So this would be a terrible place to rewind. So don't die! I looked up to see that the audience seats, which were brimming with people, were divided into stair-like terraces. And on the platform at the opposite end of the hall, 3 shadows of chairs could be seen cast on the obscuring curtain fabric. I mean, it's like, bleachers. And, I don't know exactly what it's called, but you know how in plays, usually the people up top are the ones who either paid more or they're directly related to people inside the play. I feel like it's that. Like, bottom tier's commoners, top tier's like family members and stuff. As for us, we followed the attendant's guidance and stood next to the other participants at the circular area in the center. So, are the evaluations happening past those curtains? See someone you recognize?
아니요. 괜찮아요, 단테님. 다시 만나도 마땅히 할 이야기가 없거든요. 인연이 있다면 이야기할 기회가 닿을 테죠.
시작하나 보네요.
Ooh, I like her. The curtain slid open, and the old woman we saw from yesterday's banquet walked out to the platform.
나는 운이 따라주어 오래전 가모의 자리에 올랐지만은 장관 세월이 지나 이제는 이 자리를 내려놓고 산하를 흘러다니려 한다. 그리하여 앉았던 자리는 공석이 될진저 자격을 갖춘 자는 이를 메워야 할지니 가씨, 설씨, 왕씨, 사씨가의 기둥들로 이루어진 이 대관원에 우리가 하루도 잊지 않고 추구하던 하나의 질문에 대한 답을 그대들은 전력을 다하여 찾아왔을 것이라 믿는다.
Who's the woman next to her?
제 첫째 누나인 원춘 누나예요. 큐사에 아주 높으신 분과 혼례를 치른 후 쭉 큐사에서 지내시다가 발걸음을 하셨나 보네요.
Q Corp. Do we know Q Corp? Is that the one that makes the boats fuse together?
비록 다른 둥지에 머물고 있던 몸이지만 고륙의 정을 나누고 천륜의 지성을 다할 수 있도록 잠시 자리하였으니
Belial piety.
최선을 다해 진리를 살피겠노라. 누군가는 순조롭게, 누군가는 천만고비 끝에 이 해답을 가져왔을 터. 하지만 1차 심사의 기회는 단 한 번뿐.
I wonder, so is it, fail around at all, you're out?
그럼에도 그대들은 모두 이곳 대관원의 후계자들이었으며 탈락마저도 대관원의 부흥이 되리라. 이제부터 호명하는 순서대로 나와 불로, 불사, 장생의 진귀한 해답을 시연하거라. 시연이 불가하다면 거짓 없는 증거를 내보여야 한다. 놓치지 말고 버리지 말라. 젊음은 영원 무궁하리라.
I wonder. There would be a pretty easy way to prove that Hong Lu has immortality. Just have someone skewer him and have Dante rewind. Issue, that would, all element of surprise that we have would immediately be gone. After the respective speeches, Jia, Yuan Chun, and Jia Mu disappeared behind the curtains atop the platform.
첫 번째 참가자.
It seemed that Hong Lu's father assumed the role of the host for the first round.
왕씨 가문의 인.
Wang Ren, the first to be summoned, walked up to the platform. Behind him was his faction, who were dragging someone by a rope toward the platform.
빨리 와라, 멍청한 것.
누구를 데려가는 거죠?
저 정도의 움직임이면 강제로 끌고 가는 것 같다만.
Bloodfiend?
불로불사. 하라. 태어날 때 주어진 몸뚱아리 이상의 단계로 진보를 꿈꾸는 건 어느 날개나 가지고 있는 수건인가 봐. 홍원의 불로불사도 그런 맥락이겠지.
Gregor, I don't know if they're gonna let you smoke in here.
저자 피주머니를 데려왔군.
I almost had it. I almost had it. It's a blood bag. It's not a blood fiend, but either way, I was close. That's when we were finally able to recognize who the candidate dragged up to the stage. The eyes, unfocused and red. Mouth slick with drool dribbling down the mouth guard. Meaningless snarling. That is a mindless blood bag.
혈귀가 불로불사의 답이 될 수 있는 것이요.
일반 사람들의 시선에서는 불로와 가깝게 느껴질 수도 있겠지만 저희는 이미 알고 있다시피 혈귀 또한 피를 섭취하지 못하면 늙고 쇠약해집니다. 짐작컨대 저들이 원하는 답과는 한참 멀 것이라고 예상되는군요.
After some struggle, the blood bag was dragged, kicking and growling past the curtains atop the platform. I don't know that having it near people is a good idea. Or wait, hang on. No, blood bags were able to convert people, right? Because there was the one... Was she a blood fiend or was she a blood bag? The first one who came out of the gates of La Mancha Land. She bit the fire dude, and he became a blood fiend or blood bag too, right?
저것이 소문으로나 들리던 혈기라는 것인가?
저걸로 되겠나? 아는 사람이 몇 없긴 해도 심사를 맡고 계신 분들에겐 고리타분한 주제일 텐데 말이야.
왕가 녀석 폭이나 절박했나 본데.
저거는 게으른 거 아니면 오지랖 것이야.
생각보다 혈귀에 대해 아는 이들이 많구려.
I guess a lot of people have tried it.
본래 혈기는 각 둥지에 퍼져 있으니 알만한 자는 아는 것도 무리가 아닐 걸세.
After a brief moment that lasted less than a minute, Wang Ren and his faction emerged from behind the curtains and descended from the platform.
가주 심사 후보 왕인 결과를 기다리기 위해 자리에 서라.
Then, they ascended the round podium behind the platform as ordered.
왕인, 가주 심사 1차 결과 탈락.
안 돼. 피. 무한한 피만 있으면 이들은 영원할 거라니까요, 가모님.
아니, 영원하지 않을 거라네. 심사하는 자들의 비원, 진정한 불로불사가 무엇인지는 본인도 모르네만 피에 종속되어 영혼을 고통받는 혈기는 그 방법에 손꼽힐 수 없네.
그런. 하지만 기억은 그대로 가지고 있다고 사냥꾼 놈들이.
모든 욕망과 감정의 방향이 피로 귀결되어 비틀어질 거다. 끝없이 불행한 삶만이 남았다면 모를까. 저렇게 놓고 싶지 않은 것으로 가득한 자들에게 혈기가 되라 말하는 것은 불로불사를 주는 것이 아니라 정신의 족쇄를 채워 피의 노예가 되어라 재촉하는 것과 크게 다르지 않을 테지.
보옥의 세력원이 훌륭한 답변을 주었으니 더 말할 것도 없겠구나.
That's interesting that Jiamu just immediately agrees with Don. Like, legit, just like shut down the rest of the conversation directly after that. Now, in Don's case, oof. Because she's speaking from a very depressing, truth. Because she's living it. But in Jiamu's case, she doesn't know that. So I'm curious as to how many times they've studied blood fiends themselves.
하물며 진짜 고위 혈귀를 데려온 것도 아닌 피주머니를 데려왔으니 성의 또한 부족하다 보이는구나.
왕가인, 진작 탈락한 자에게 걸맞지 않은 이유를 친히 알리셨으니 이를 생애 마지막의 은혜로 하시게.
Oh, they just drop you down a massive pit if you are eliminated. The podium suddenly opens under their feet, casting Wang Ren and the blood bag to its depths with a blood-curdling screech. So that's what happens when you fail to pass.
이거 그냥 극적인 연출을 위한 거지? 저기 떨어져도 다시 올려보내주는 거지?
I guess if you fail round 1, you're literally not even worthy to be around.
그럴 리가. 구멍 아래에서부터 지독하게 고인 고통의 냄새가 퍼지잖나.
Okay.
류슈도 참 점점 살벌한 농담이 늘고 있다니까.
저 발판 아래는 어디로 이어지는 거지? 낙함으로 추측 건데 제법 깊은 곳까지 이어진 것 같다만.
아마도 가문의 오래된 비밀들이 있는 장소일 거예요. 아, 당연히 보물 같은 건 아니랍니다. 보통 사람들이 알려고 든다면 흑수들이 찾아오는 정도려나요?
But that's interesting. So whatever's down there is important enough that they will send assassins after you if you try and figure it out. So it's probably more than bodies. Oh, it might be a blood fiend. Are the elders blood fiends? Interesting thought.
본격적으로 준비했네요.
Well, because I mean, what else would make sense, right? If it's a horrible secret that even trying to figure out will get assassins sent after, like the highest assassins sent after you, it's gotta be something real important. And Jiamu seems to know a lot about blood fiends. That's an interesting thought. There could potentially be blood fiends under there.
그래.
Or something worse.
그리고 그 본격적인 준비, 우리가 당할 수도 있는 거고.
The next candidate was summoned before we were even able to shake off the initial shock.
두 번째 참가자 설씨 가문의
We sat through a few more names and subsequent failures. We couldn't hear what exactly they were talking about beyond the curtains. And unlike the very loud and obvious blood bag, the answers other candidates brought were less obvious. So, all we had to go on were the shadows of their desperate attempts to explain things before the judges.
또냐?
Boy, there sure is a lot of families.
질리고 지루하다는 뜻이다.
The longer we watched the death toll rise, the less shocking they became.
아, 이거 합격이란 게 있긴 있는 거야?
8번째 참가자 설씨 가문의 보차.
Okay, to Gregor's comment, are they planning to fail everyone? There can only be one winner.
어머, 아는 사람이다.
Oh, this is Hong Lu's soon-to-be wife. She was technically our competition, but it seemed that she managed to give the sinners quite the positive impression with yesterday's brief encounter. Some of them were even cheering her on. We couldn't see exactly what it was. Zue brought, but she was also holding something as she entered past the curtains.
설과 보차 심사 결과.
After her brief meeting with the judges, which, going by the shadows cast on the curtains, appeared to have gone better than we had expected, she emerged. And as soon as she did, Bao Chai immediately turned in our direction. At Hong Lu, to be exact.
보고 있었구나.
And began excitedly waving her hand.
합격.
Good for her. Although, it feels a tiny bit rigged, father. The podium beneath her remained shut.
그래도 잠깐이나마 인연을 맺었던 얼굴이 무적행으로 떨어지는 건 보고 싶지 않았기에.
I'm kidding, but at the same time, it is pretty funny that Hong Lu's dad passes Hong Lu's soon-to-be wife. I'm just saying. If I was in the audience, I'd probably be raising some questions. And then a Haishu would probably destroy me.
다행이구려.
17번째 참가자
It's
가시
Gia!
가문의 시춘.
Yeah! Clap for Gia! Woo!
시춘 씨 차례인가 봐요.
She slowly ascended the platform, unaccompanied. She held in her hands a tightly sealed gourd bottle.
비로소 얻었나 보네요.
She found the water from the river we saw in Dawn's memories back then?
말도 안 돼. 그 레테를?
I doubt it. I think she's gonna bluff.
정말 그곳에 도달했을 가능성은 한없이 낮습니다.
Yeah, I think she's gonna bluff.
물론 천문학적 확률을 뚫고서
Oh my
그
God.
강까지 도달했을 확률까지 부정하진 않습니다만 저들의 역량으로 이 짧은 시간 동안 가장 깊은 곳 중 한 곳의 원료에 도달한다는 것은 파우스트로서도 상상하기 어렵군요.
Well, now that you're done Faust explaining us, can we go with my theory?
모종의 방법을 통해 새어나오거나 맺혀진 일부를 채취한 것은 아닐지.
근데 그 강물은 기억을 깊게 재워서 지워줄 뿐일 터 블루불사와 관계가 있는 겐가?
I mean, Dawn, you probably didn't get to the very center of it. That's where the immortality is probably at.
네, 아마도 저들이 원하던 정신의 불사와 밀접한 관계가 있을 테죠. 그 정보를 알고 있는 이도 극소수인 만큼 저 병에 담긴 것이 유효하다면 파우스트 역시 합격률이 높다고 생각합니다.
가시 시춘 합격.
Once again, seems rigged.
귀한 걸 얻어왔구나. 네 세가로 이걸 얻으려면 보통의 노력으로는 안 되었을 텐데.
감사합니다, 원춘 언니.
As Faust expected, all three judges appeared quite satisfied by what Gia brought before them.
Next, 18th candidate.
Sorry, the dialogue got skipped.
대체 몇 명이나 있는 거냐 이 집안 사람들은?
I'm kind of with Heathcliff. We've been hearing a lot of people go kersplat.
가시 가문의 환.
Juan? Oh. I don't even need to know what the... Okay, first of all, I kind of know what these two do based on the identities. Also... P-Moon, I can't tell. Could be a guy, could be a girl. This one on the side looks like Mersal. It's Mirror Dungeon Mersal. Huh? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna assume I'm gonna assume they're dude bros. Our first meeting with that man was less than amicable, and I had a strong feeling that another one wasn't going to do anything to improve that. Gia Juan walked up to the platform. There sure is a lot of... Oh, Gia family. Aha. We all fell silent, hearing a familiar name. I could feel that some sinners were growing tense, some of them even gritting their teeth. And the other man, closely following him, holding what looked like the egg of an abnormality, was also a familiar face. I'd seen him many times in Yisong's memories.
단테, 저 사람들이 입고 온 거 보여요?
Yeah, they both have ego suits.
에고 장비다.
LCE처럼 새로운 추출법을 알아냈거나 혹은 로보토미에서 구해온 곳으로 추정되는군요.
Or maybe the abnormality synchronized with them. Always a question.
구보가 들고 있는 것은 환상체의 알인 듯 보이는 구려.
저걸 그대로 보여줄 셈인가?
How's that an answer to anything?
해석의 여지에 달렸지만 환상체 역시 불로불사에 가까운 존재라 해석할 수도 있으니까요.
Oh, because of the egg revival thing?
어떤 환상체의 알인지가 관건이겠군.
하지만 제가 아는 가완 형이라면 실패할 거라고 생각되는 것엔 절대 목숨을 걸지 않을 거예요.
가시환 1차 심사 합격.
You know, I sure am noticing a lot of Gia family related people are passing. Contrary to most of our wishes, Gia Juan managed to pass the first round as well. Many more candidates came and went. One of them carried a massive, mysterious coffin. Wait! That is not the coffin I thought it was. One of them brought a thick book, and one of them presented a cage so tiny that we couldn't see what was within. Some of them managed to pass, while some of them were sent screaming into the mysterious abyss. As we waited and watched the candidates come and go, people from N Corp, their turn complete, approached us.
아직 황혼이 되기에는 이른 시각일 터인데 다시 마주하는 것이 제법 이르구려.
As if to prove his own words back at the LCE, that he's come to accept certain things as they are, Yisong coolly regarded his old friend who was now working for N Corp.
알량하고 앙상한 새 쉼터가 퍽 자네 마음에 든 모양이야. 그리 농하는 건 구인회가 무너진 뒤에 처음 보는 것 같으니.
어쩐 일로 내게 걸음한 것이여. 살갑게 담소를 나누기엔 쌓인 감정이 많지 않은가.
내가 보자고 한 건 아니니 오해는 마시게. 내 팀메이트가 제 가족 얼굴을 한번 보고 싶다 해서 겸사겸사 들린 것뿐이니 말이야.
가주대전이 열리니 모두들 대관원으로 돌아오는구나. 그날 이후로는 처음 보네, 형.
세상 물정엔 청맹관이처럼 어둡고 가주라면 칠색팔색을 하던 네가 여긴 왜 올라온 거냐? 저 냄새나는 것들이랑 이번엔 어딜 빌붙은 거지? 네 역겨운 속을 모르고 겉에 반해 쫓아다니는 설가의 여시? 아니면 아직도 그 시절을 잊지 못하고 허공을 헛도는 말이나 내뱉는 널 싸고 두는 시춘이냐? 왜 살리지 않았지? 질문을 바꾸지. 왜 그 애만 살린 것이냐, 가보.
I see. This is about the brother we saw in the very first vision, huh? Huh.
형, 사람은 필연코 죽기 마련이야.
곧 다음 심사가 시작됩니다. 참가자분들은 자리로 돌아가 주십시오.
죽어있는 시종 따위가.
돌아가지. 구태여 더 이어갈 대화는 아닐 테니.
아주 만남의 광장이 따로 없군.
괜히 기분만 잡쳤네. 저 자식들 또 우리 걸 뺏어가려고 온 거 맞지?
그런 것 치곤 태도가 묘하긴 했는데.
어느 쪽이든 저들보다 높은 순위로 대전을 마치는 게 안전할 테죠.
또 떨어졌네요. 이걸 지켜보고 있는 사람들 중에서 저 사람의 가족들도 있을 텐데 괜찮은 걸까요?
I feel like most of the families expect their chosen to die. Sinclair mutters, watching another candidate fall down the trapdoor.
보고 있다면 마음이 정말 좋지 않을 것 같은데요.
싱클레어, 우리 뒤쪽에 있는 관계 아까 떨어진 자의 부모야.
저런 걸 자식이라고 끼고 살았다니. 에이, 한심하군.
그래도 우리 셋째는 잘 해낼 거예요. 애초에 저 녀석에겐 별로 기대도 하지 않았잖아요.
가주가 되기만을 위해 살아왔다는 건 이런 것까지 포함하는 이야기였네요.
많은 분들이 가주가 되는 걸 간절히 바란답니다. 물론 저분들처럼 자신이 가주가 되는 대신 자신과 친하거나 피로 이어진 누군가 가주가 되는 걸 바라시는 분도 있지만요.
직접 가주가 되지 않더라도 밀접한 이가 가주에 오르는 곳으로 평생의 입신양명과 부귀영화를 손에 넣겠다는 심산인가.
I mean, yeah, you know, get someone else to do all the hard work for you.
그렇게 만든 건 유통기한이 짧지.
이런 뜻하지 않은 기회로 인해 오랫동안 보지 못했던 형제자매들의 안부도 알 수 있게 되었네요.
27번째 참가자 설씨 가문의 반.
Oh my. Whoa.
설반? 어디서 들어본 것 같은데.
아, 보차 누나의 오라버니 되시는 분이에요.
Well, he sure doesn't look very good. Zui Pan walked up to the platform, holding what appeared to be a large jar with multiple talismans plastered all over it.
눈빛이 뭔가 쎄하지 않아?
여기 안 그런 사람이 어디 있어요?
근데 나도 느꼈어. 약간 뭐랄까.
Instead of ascending to the platform and into the curtains, he walked up to the podium.
너 죽고 나 죽자 같은 느낌인데.
참가자 설반, 항상 안으로 들어가시오.
곧은 길이 아니어야 재미를 보는 법. 좋은 구경은 다 같이 하는 게 이치에 맞지 않겠나?
He places a jar on the ground, and from within, a desiccated hand emerges.
주술 따위로 장난질을 치는군.
Ryoshi muttered with palpable distaste. Why is he...
안에서 뭐가 나온 거야?
Corpses, their desiccated flesh covered in a light, sparse layer of old papers, crawled out from the jar and began to shamble. They're neither distortions nor abnormalities. They're just flat zombies!
피주머니나 환상체에 종속된 것들과 비슷해 보이는군. 이성이 남아있질 않는 것으로 보아 목표도 무작위겠지.
They are zombies.
강한 사리를 지속적으로 내보이는 것으로 보아 틀림없이 눈앞에 있는 것들을 무차별적으로 공격할 것 같습니다. 관리자님, 전투 명령을.
Creepy. Creepier. The jar monster set upon the audience, stuffing the struggling, still breathing victims into their jars.
범연이 날개에서 주최하는 가주 대전이 진행 중인데 주최 측에서 수습해줘야 하는 거 아니에요?
가주 대전에서 다른 사람들을 해하면 안 된다 같은 규칙은 없으니까요.
규칙이 없다고 정말 아무 대응도 안 해버린다는 거야? 나 참...
어떻게 해야 해? 우리가 나서야 해?
살아남은 다음에 가주 대전에 무사히 참가를 해야겠죠?
이게 뭐야?
As the monsters began to swarm in, some candidates scattered and ran away, while some stood their ground and fought back. Those who did neither were the ones getting slaughtered. I was simultaneously reminded of Solda, and the confident smile she flashed at me as she reassured us that we should be able to pass the first round with little to no trouble. Looks like we have no choice but to take them down.
So be it. Zombies they are. Zombies they die.
What do we got? Talisman Jar Monster.
Clawing.
Inflict 3 Rupture, Wild Clawing. If target has 4+ Rupture, base power +1. On hit, inflict 2 Rupture, up to twice.
Tear off.
On use, base power +1 for every 20% missing HP on self, max of 4. Oof. On use, coin power +1 for every 6 Rupture, max of 2. On hit, inflict 2 Rupture, up to twice. Unbreakable coin. On hit, inflict 3 Rupture and +3 Rupture count. Counter. Inflict +3 Rupture count. And Leaping Cracked Jar. After attack, randomly inflict 2 of the following effects next turn. Dies after dealing 10 damage. -3 offense level, -3 defense level, 1 paralyze, or 2 bind. Off Mark Curse. When this unit is staggered, have the Rupture potency and Rupture count on the target this unit last hit. Jar Haunting Curse. Turn end. If this unit hit a target this turn, gain 1 attack power up next turn. If this unit kills itself, apply 1 attack power up to all allies. Okay. How about you? Monster from the Gorged and Devoured Jar of Loneliness. Oh, so this is like the boss. Wound Clawing. If target has 4+ Rupture, coin power +1. On hit, inflict 2 Rupture and 2 Bleed up to twice. Flesh Tearing. Coin power +1 for every 4 Rupture on target, max of 2. On hit, inflict +3 Rupture count and 3 Bleed count.
Writhing in loneliness.
On use, base power +1 for every 10% missing HP on self, max of 5. Coin power +1 for every 4 Rupture on the target, max of 3. If target has 10 or more Rupture plus Rupture count, inflict Rupture count equal to Rupture count on target. Oh boy. Unbreakable coin. Inflict 2 Rupture and 1 bleed. Do it again. Do it again. Add 15+ Rupture and Rupture count. Inflict Rupture potency X Rupture count gluttony damage. Max of 40. And inflict 5 bleed count. Good lord. Counter. On hit, inflict 1 Rupture, 2 bleed. If target has 5+ Rupture, reuse this skill up to twice. And Leaping Crack Jar, it's the same thing, but stronger. Passives. Pretty much the same, except for Jar Haunting Curse. Turn end. Against all enemies, inflict poison equal to number of turns that pass since this unit joined the battle. Max of 5. If this unit kills itself, apply number of turns times 5 poison and inflict +2 Rupture count on all enemies next turn. Max of 25. Well, we've got a little thing called a magic bullet. Perhaps you would like to see it in action.
That's the wrong target! Oh!
It's fine. We're a little bit empowered to begin with. I'm seeing a clash that is going horrendously for us. Okay. We should have gone into negative state on Ryoshu. On Rodion. Okay. Wow. This is gonna suck. This is gonna be real hard. Let's guard. Okay, let's go negative. Let's get a cleave. Free attack. And... we do have enough to get an AoE attack. Let's do it. By the way, I didn't actually mean to bring Faust into this fight, but boy am I glad that I did. Good stuff. We get a reload. Free attack. And a stagger. Death. That also powers its up next turn. Oh. Dawn gets staggered despite reducing the damage. 2 staggers because of our AoE. Oh, beautiful. Ah. Okay, we do reduce the damage a little bit, and we're in negative. Okay. I'm gonna go for power counter. That way, even if we get staggered, we will mount Dullahan and we'll be fine. Let's go triple dark blue. That's just a free attack, and then this gives us another magic bullet. Good stuff.
Defend this.
Negative state is so good. Okay, that +2 attack power, definitely helping. Okay, could have been worse. The poison damage does not feel good. How are we doing on stats? We are okay for the moment. Let's... This will get us another stack of... whatever it's called that I can't remember. The blood frickin' passive that I like so much. Then, I think I'm gonna use to Pathos Mythos. That way we can potentially get empowered. I know they have unbreakable coins, but still. Okay, stagger or kill. Good stuff. Kill going on in the background, and Rodion gets another. Okay, Dawn is also a negative. Pathos Mythos about to come down. This attack that we're going to take this turn is not going to prevent our passive from taking up next turn, which is good. Because technically it takes effect next turn, not this turn. Oh, actually we got a stagger, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But still.
Death approaches.
Double kill. Okay. Let's see. As much resonance as possible. We are in the positive, so I'm going to use the Coffin Smash. Then let's get as much resonance as physically possible, and that's game. Good stuff, good crit. Oh, wow, he's got some hyper rolls on him. You know, as much as I love Queen of Hatred, I gotta be honest, Rodion's Knight of Despair is significantly stronger. Of course, that won't stop me from loving Dawn, or the Queen of Hatred, but still. Okay, no counter dice because we did get a stagger, and I believe that was game. Those enemies are so cool. Alright, I know that they're not full-blown zombies, but they're zombies. What remained inside the hall after the battle was devastating. Many in the audience seats had fled, as the seats that were once brimming with people were only half filled. And the candidate zone down here was littered with bodies of candidates who were mauled to death. Meanwhile, the jar monsters, having eaten their fill, had already crawled back into the jar. I looked around and saw some candidates still holding tightly onto the treasures they had each brought to the contest, even as they drew their last breaths. In the midst of all the destruction stood the cause of this chaos, watching the slaughter play out with assured confidence.
이렇게 우둔하고 나약해서야 어찌 불로를 얻고 불사를 마를 수 있겠느냐?
By being a zombie? That... Boy, you really have lost the plot, haven't you?
어떻습니까? 불로 불사의 단서에 더해 거짓을 구한 자들을 없애는 보배까지 가져왔으니 이것이 저의 답입니다.
그 항아리에 진흙을 구해왔구나.
살아남지 못한 이들은 가주의 자격을 갖추지 못했다 보는 것이 옳겠죠.
설가반 합격.
자칫하다가 다 죽어버릴 수 있었는데 합격이라니.
Even ignoring that, how does being a zombie count as immortality if being a blood bag doesn't? Either way, you're a mindless, like, I'm just gonna kill. What?
저들의 기준에는 부합되었던 것일 테죠.
Right, I mean, I understand that, Faust, but, oh, their standards are all over the place then. Who would have guessed that they're just all crazy?
겸사겸사 나약한 경쟁자들도 일찌감치 제거해버리고 저자에겐 일석이조였겠군.
혹시라도 2차전에서 만나게 되면 몇 대 후려 갈기는 걸로는 안 끝낼 거다.
Will do.
28번째 참가자 사씨 가문의 대정.
But no one walked up to the platform.
모습을 드러내지 않았기에 탈락.
Jia Zhang called a few more names thereafter, but
29번째, 30번째.
언뜻 보기에도 인원이 줄었군.
but none appeared.
어떠들 같으니?
확실히 어중이 떠중이들은 전부 죽은 것 같아요.
남은 것들도 죄 지쳐 헐떡이는 것들뿐.
Ryoshu looked around as though she was doing some sort of critique.
어? 저 덩치는...
Ooh, Ryoshu actually getting some emotion. It must be someone of note. Oh, it's someone of note. Oh dear.
이렇게...
Oh, you're not even using MF that time. He must be of note.
야, 어디다가 흘렸는가 했더만 이런 데서 늦장구 없이 나타났지? 야, 눈 마주쳤잖아. 인사라도 오자.
Ryoshu, that guy's talking to you, right? And in a very, very rare display of raw emotion, I realized that she was anxious and furious.
알던 분이세요?
뭔 껍데가 키가 2m는 되겠는데?
What an absolute unit. Oh. Oh my. All right.
저자를 바라보지 마세요, 단테. 그리고 여러분들도.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna stare at him now.
아무 말씀도 하지 마시기를 권고합니다.
아재, 나한테 말 걸라면 너희들이 급이 되는지는 한번 생각해보고 씹으려야 할 것 아니냐?
저 새끼 손가락이다. 뇌획.
엄지는 손가락 중 상명하복의 제일 엄격한 조직입니다. 그리고 저자는 엄지의 카포 중에서도 제일 높은 언더보스 직전의 직급.
Okay, hang on. I gotta remember this. It's been a little while since I've thought about thumb stuff other than mods. The Soto Capos are basically the top dog, right? Like there was a white-haired guy who was like, I don't remember his name, but yeah. Okay, I'm remembering now. I'm placing it. Okay, so they're what? They're like Star of the City level? So they're a pretty big deal. Yeah, they're extremely dangerous, in fact.
자그마 실수가 큰 싸움으로 번질 수 있으니 전부 조용히 해주실 것을 명령해 주세요, 단테.
I don't know what's going on, but I get it. You're saying that if we're this close to having another Ricardo, or no, you're saying that we're this close to having another Ricardo hunting us down, right? Yeah, let's avoid that. Do as Faust asks, everyone. Leheng, I definitely didn't say that right, began stomping his way through the crowd toward us, casually but forcefully shoving anyone in his way to the sides. His gait was blasé and brutish, but I noticed that his eyes were fixed intently on Ryoshu. It seemed that among the crowd were some people in higher positions as well, but that even they either averted their eyes or voluntarily got out of his way. He marched confidently through the frozen crowd, as though he was familiar with this kind of reception, until an angry cry rang out from the crowd.
에바, 너 지금 어느 안전이라고 남궁 현아 도련님의 자리까지 와서 시야를 막는 거냐? 이 자리는 장차 4대 가문이 될 우리 남궁.
So we're probably about to see how actually powerful he is. Yeah, turns out he's got a gun. Instead of a reply, we heard a blast of gunpowder, then saw the right arm of the man who spoke out catapult into the air. The scream muffled as Leheng forcibly shoved his giant hand down the man's throat. Then, with the sound of wet meat being pulled apart, he ripped the entire length of the man's tongue out through the mouth. Gross. That's some imagery and a half.
남궁 현아 도련님, 아그들 입단속 못했으니까 오른팔 하나는 내놔야지.
The young master of some prestigious house presented his right hand, though it was clear that he was utterly terrified. Leheng proceeded to grab his hand and break it off his forearm like snapping a twig.
반가운 낯짝 봐서 기준 좀 널널하게 잡아준 것인께 허튼 짓 말고 조심해라.
I went easy on you by ripping your guy's entire throat out and pulling your arm off. Yeah.
거미적은 그립겠어. 하긴 그리울 리가 있겠어. 나도 갈 때마다 기분이 거시기하더만.
Ha! The spider house. That's funny. So, you know, I've thought about it, right? The lobotomy corp egos that every character get, they very closely go hand in hand with their own stories. Like, for example, Dawn and Queen of Hatred. Very similar stories there. Rodion and Knight of Despair. Very similar stories there. Yisong, I think fits, although I'm gonna be honest, even though we know his story, it's difficult to say how exactly it fits, at least for me. Again, Yisong's story was confusing. And Otis, I'm gonna guess she's used to mowing down a crap ton of people, which is why her having this magic bullet is so fitting. So the fact that Ryoshu has spider bud, and he just mentioned the spider's house, is really interesting, because that also means that there's another half of the story that somehow relates to Pentience, or rather, one sin. Maybe her one sin was that she killed someone high up in the spider house and had to leave it. I don't know. We'll see. This also kind of makes me wonder if Ryoshu's story is next, but we'll see.
나중에 얼굴 좀 보자. 그때처럼 한 번 더 칼 쥐는 법 좀 제대로 가르쳐 줄란께. 아야, 그래도 그 중에 내가 제일 만나게 쓰는 법을 가르쳐 줬잖아.
류슈 씨, 아직 때가 아닙니다.
Faust whispered to Ryoshu in a low voice without raising her head. I'm with you, Ryoshu. I'm with you. This might be the one time to actually listen to her, though.
입사 전의 약속을 아직 기억하시리라. 파우스트는 믿습니다.
어깨에 힘 좀 빼라. 네 데리러 온 것도 아니고 그때처럼 뭘 가르쳐 주려고 온 것도 아닌게. 내 새끼 아직 그 집에 있잖아. 아니?
Her special sword? An even more special sword? Ryoshu was grabbing the hilt of her sword like she was about to unsheath it. The same sword she refused to unsheath for the duration of our entire journey.
아닌가? 이제 없던가? 글쎄 뭔 일이 있었디야? 나가 그 사정은 잘 몰라서 말이지. 뭐 그래도 뭔 일이 있긴 했는갑네. 이야, 겁나 재미지다. 근데 니 진짜 그 건 빼려고?
류슈 씨.
In a quiet but coldly stern voice, Faust calls Ryoshu's name. Wow, she's really, really bothered by this guy. Huh? Is my clock ringing?
아따 웃자스까. 언더보 쓰시면 안 받을라 그래도 안 받을 수가 없겠네. 다음에 네가 애비들 얘기나 거시기 해보자고. 요시다.
Your daddy's? Was it a literal baby? Did Ryoshu do a little bit of the hanky-panky? I mean, I kind of doubt it. I doubt it. I think he's speaking more in code, but I don't know. Maybe Ryoshu had a bit of a Elise from League of Legends thing. Or, not even Elise. Frickin' Evelyn. That's the one where she seduces people and then kills them. I don't know. Who's to say? The strange man turns around and stomps his way through the crowd again, his booming voice reverberating across the entire hall as he loudly and boisterously answers the call. He's gotta be here for the family hierarch war, right?
누가 가주가 되느냐에 따라 당분간의 H사 방향이 결정되니 다양한 자들의 이권이 보이지 않는 곳에서부터 눈앞에까지 펼쳐질 테죠.
그래도 히스클리프 씨, 이번에는 잘 참아줬네요. 중지 때처럼 사고 치면 어쩔까 걱정했는데.
엄지는 나도 조직 생활 때 몇 번 얽혀봐서 알아. 그리고 중지 거는 나도 진짜 몰랐던 거고. 그리고 저 자식 아마
is now hunting us for the rest of all of our lives.
우리가 마주쳤던 리카르도보다도 강하고 위협적인 강자로 판단된다.
엄지는 엄지대로 어마무시하구려. 중지와는 다른 흉악한 폭력성.
As we were all sharing our impressions of Leheng, I found Ryoshu frozen in place, in the same position she had been in when Leheng walked past her, spacing out.
소지까지인가?
Ryoshu muttered something to herself. As even further chaos was about to overtake the crowd and the candidates,
32번째 참가자 가치우.
Jia Zhang called upon the next candidate. And, at the mere mention of the name, the chaos that had swallowed the hall immediately settled into hushed silence. No way! It's oh my god, I know her name. It's Discard Girl. And you're I feel like I know you. What are you from? I can't place it. I know where this guy is from. I just can't place it. Dang it. I cannot place where this guy is from. But this is Discard Girl. Hey, dude, we actually get to see more people who were booked before. Jia Kyu walked up to the platform, unaccompanied by his own faction, but not alone. Who are those people next to him?
저는 초면이네요.
They're pretty cool is what they are.
아, 그렇다면 저분이 가치우 형님이 찾은 블로불사의 답인가 보네요.
Really? He brought people who have been booked. Really? That is an interesting answer. But not one that can be replicated anymore.
대체 어떤 사람들이길래?
Kinda.
전투적으로 그렇게 뛰어난 자들 같지는 않아 보이건만.
Otis! Rude! They just have very different kind of builds. They need passives to go with it.
오히려 불안한 듯이 연신 두리번거리시네요.
Well, look who they're walking next to. Frickin', he's bigger than Mersault is.
저자는 도서관의 생존자라고 파우스트는 생각합니다.
Survivors, yeah, let's call them that. Survivors?
피할 수 없었던 어떤 불가항력에서.
Yeah, no, Faust, you're just wrong. They did not survive. I can't blame you for being wrong. After all, only I, the third party, know, but still.
유일하게 살아남아 그것을 설명할 수 있게 된 자일 수도요.
1차 심사 참가자.
GQ didn't spend much time behind the curtains. He walked out soon after, his steely expression unchanged from when he entered it.
증언을 들어보니 확실하구나. 도시의 별을 넘어 결국 사라져버린 그곳에서 살아나온 이가 맞다.
Interesting. People don't know that the head expelled it. Really? So I know that the head has always been kind of like a... Not many people actually see arbiters and stuff that show up from the head, right? I believe I'm remembering that correctly. And the only ones that do usually die. So it's really interesting to me that it vanished because they didn't know, or rather don't know, that the head showed up and basically just evicted them.
당시 초대장을 구하지 못한 것이 이제 와서 아쉬운 일로 남게 되었군요.
Well, you would have been dead, so probably better you didn't.
합격.
Jiakiyu's expression did not budge.
긴장이라는 걸 하긴 했을까?
그럼 남은 참가자는 더 이상 없나?
Well, you're missing one.
이 자리에 와주신 4대 가문 모두에게
잠깐만요.
Unlike Jiakiyu, whose appearance plunged the hall into utter stillness, Honglu's sudden interjection roused the room into a roaring chaos of confusion once again.
오?
아직 마지막 참가자가 남은 것 같아서요.
그게 무슨 말이냐? 심사에 나서는 자들의 내역은 이것으로.
제가 남았거든요. 가시 가문의 보옥이 가주 심사에 참가합니다.
저거 가보옥 아니야?
You're gosh darn tootin'.
저게 왜 이런 자리에? 아니, 그보다 뭘 참가한다고?
What's that doing here? Oof.
예상은 하고 있었지만 엄청나게 시선을 끌고 있네요.
자, 우러러 보시게! 마지막 용사들이 이곳에 당도하였으니!
Mersault, knockout Don. Or Yusong, you're closer.
이상 씨, 왜 다른 일행인 척하고 있어? 이렇게 된 거 그냥 손이라도 흔들어.
Guys, I don't think they're taking the announcement too well.
대부분이 당혹감 속에 턱을 일정 이상 벌리고 있거나 분노와 심려가 가득한 얼굴로 소리를 지르고 있다.
Okay. As Mersault observed, I realized that the chaos wasn't restricted to the audiences. The candidates were starting to get agitated too.
저런 놈이지. 겉으로는 실실 웃다가 쥐도 새도 모르게 주변을 멸해버리는 그 더러운 성정.
어떻게 된 거야? 보옥이는 가주대전 참가 안 하는 거 아니었어?
결국 저 멍청이가
분. 너 뭐 하는 거지?
아까 가만에서 소드 씨가 요슈 씨가 그 말하면 제 목숨을 걸고 칼을 붙들고 있으라 했어요.
Isn't that a Riga move?
아이씨, 그냥
히스클리프 씨도요. 그냥 싹 다 패버리자 같은 말을 하면.
이런 광경은 오랜만이네요.
정숙하시오. 네 몸에 생책이라도 나면 어쩌려는 겠냐? 지금이라도 물어거라. 어서.
가볼게요, 아버지.
33번째 참가자 가시 가문의 보옥.
I figure it's because of the jade. Though, could also be because of his brother.
앞으로.
단테님, 준비되셨죠?
Oh, it is me. I don't know.
그리고 로슈 씨도요.
뭐든지 썰고 싶다. 기분이 굉장히 더럽거든.
Interesting. So, I think I mentioned it earlier. If I didn't, I'm going to repeat it. Or even if I did, I'm going to repeat it. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is we're going to have Honglu's brain be destroyed. Okay, at the very least I thought it earlier. I don't know if I said it. Either way, I'm repeating it. We're going to have Honglu's brain be destroyed. Because that's the only way that someone can truly die. Then have me rewind. Huh? I mean, immortality.
파우스트 씨 진짜 괜찮겠죠?
Yeah, we'll probably be fine.
괜찮은 것이 아니라 하더라도 해야 하는 것은 해야 하는 것입니다.
Faust spoke sternly.
나는 여전히 이 계획이 그리 마음에 들지 않소.
사실 누구도 이 계획을 두 팔 벌려 환영하는 사람은 없어요. 아니, 대부분은.
Honglu, Ryoshu, and I walked up to the platform. Up close, it was much larger, grander, and more imposing than I thought it'd be.
선을 넘어서 들어오거라.
And once we walked past the curtains as instructed, we saw Yuan Chun, Mu, and Zhang waiting for us inside.
출가의 생에서 어떠한 심정의 변화가 있었는진 모르겠으나 네가 가주에 도전하는 진귀한 광경을 보게 될 줄이야.
오랜만이에요, 누님. 큐사에서의 생활은 무사 평안하셨나요?
많은 것을 보고 배웠지. 네가 그랬을 것처럼 보가.
이곳에 발걸음을 한 연유가 이것이었느냐?
죄송해요, 할머님. 세간에 밝히지 않는 편이 좋을 것 같았어요.
그렇느냐? 의사를 밝힌 이상 물러날 곳은 없겠지. 그래, 네가 가지고 온 답은 무엇이더냐?
정말 많은 분들이 이 자리에 서서 각자가 찾은 것에 대해 알려주려 했을 거라고 생각해요. 그러니 번잡스럽게 천마디의 말보다는 눈앞에서 보여드리는 편이 여러모로 좋으실 테죠.
Oh, that's exactly what we're doing. Honglu gave Ryoshu a nod.
네, 괜찮아요.
You know, you should probably tell them that everything is under control and they should not immediately sick the entire palace on us.
저희가 그들에게 보여줄 수 있는 답은 단테 씨의 힘으로 언제든 살아날 수 있는 생, 그 자체입니다. 그리고 그걸 제일 극적으로 보여주기 위해서는
그래. 이건 인정해야겠네. 지금까지 나온 참가자 중에서 제일 지루하지 않았다, 보가.
아, 그렇다면 제가 눈앞에서 목숨을 잃는 편이 제일 효과적이겠네요?
I mean, they certainly think you're dead because by all accounts that is an instant kill in every case.
그것도 아주 확실하게요.
그렇습니다.
그럼 저희 중 한 명이 홍루 씨를 그 목숨을 잃게끔 만들어야 한다는 건가요?
야, 허감이 뭐 그리 거창해. 우리 처음 만났을 때 기억 안 나냐?
그렇다면 히스클리프 군은 홍루 군을 아무렇지 않게 살해할 수 있다는 것인가?
살해? 야, 또 뭐 말을 그렇게?
Oh, that's fun.
더 이상 악인들이 아닌 동료들을 해치는 건 싫네.
Oh, darn.
다행이라 해야 할지 모르겠지만 저희 중에서 고통 없고 신속하면서 동시에 아무런 가책이 없이 이 작전을 도와주실 분이 계시는 듯하군요.
And everyone immediately turned to look at.
그래서 어떤 모양으로 베면 되지? 뇌횡, 그 새끼 어디부터 먹었지?
Ryoshi, probably not the time. It seemed that slicing Honglu in half did nothing to distract Ryoshu from her own thoughts. Jiamu watched us in silence, motionless in her seat.
뇌까지 절단했군.
So we have. I should probably rewind now.
이 아이는 이제 생명보험으로도 되살아나지 못할 것이다.
I should probably rewind now. Like right now.
자, 이제 어떻게 나올 테냐?
Any moment now.
뭘 하더라도 본래의 옥으로 돌아오진 못할 터. 가문의 보석을 망가뜨린 죄값은
Yesterday, Dante.
시계 돌려.
And so it turned. In one of the most high-intensity situations I'd ever turned it. The muscle fibers, the nerves, the flesh that was split, all begin to reconnect like a rewinding videotape. Huh? Wait, why doesn't this hurt at all? Ryoshi's skill with that sword was no joke. I didn't even feel the slightest bit of discomfort. I doubt Honglu even realized that he was dying.
우리 보기가 못 본 사이에 담대해진 게 분명하구나.
짐승 냄새.
Yeah, because they thought that we killed him. Did nobody see this coming? We killed, like, their family jewel. Freaking bringing him back or not, of course this was gonna happen. Dark shadows had appeared outside the curtains, surrounding us before I even realized what was happening.
소, 닭, 용, 원숭이. 흑수군.
불로 불사의 해답을 찾아오라 하였지. 금기를 무시하고 난장을 피우라 한 것은 아니었는데.
That's a taboo.
이전에 H사를 이끌던 그 가문이 멸문한 지 그리 오래되지도 않았다. 조율자와 발톱이 다시 이 홍원에서 가문을 도륙내게 하는 것은 용납될 수 없는.
You guys have had a claw here? Interesting. Interesting. So your quest for answers has really sparked, something. Jia Yuan-chun appeared ready to command the High Shu to kill us all, but Jia Mu silenced her with a wave of her hand.
기다리거라.
가모님, 부활이 끝나면 틀림없이 머리가. 그러니 그 전에 끝내야.
일각만 기다리거라. 판단이 섣부르면 반드시 놓치는 것이 있기 마련. 나는 우리의 보물과 불로불사의 탄서 두 가지 모두 놓치고 싶지 않구나.
And Hong Lu was whole again.
아, 감사해요, 루시님. 정말 아무런 아픔도 느껴지지 않았어요. 그리고 단테님도요.
별말.
할머니, 그리고 원춘 누님, 보셨죠? 이게 제가 찾은 불로불사의 방법이랍니다.
오지 않는 건가?
우시불보 시후미도.
If aught be owed, a swift vengeance shall arrive in time. It is simply yet to return. Jimu's quiet utterances seemed to dissipate the forces that had surrounded us outside the curtain.
가주심사 1차 참가자 가복 합격이란다.
가시복 합격. 무슨 술수를 쓴 거지?
분명 홍원을 떠나 한량 같은 여행이나 다닌다 들었는데 그 사이 무슨 묘수를 가져온 거야?
Wow, he was out traveling the world and found an answer? That's crazy.
Wow, you guys really are something special, ain't you?
1차 심사 종료. 합격자들은 곧바로 내일 열릴 2차 심사를 준비하라. 2차 심사와의 간극 간 후보자끼리 서로 위해를 가하는 것은 금지되어 있다. 이것은 유일한 규칙으로 위반한 후보자는 즉시 탈락된다는 점 양지하길 바란다. 이상.
As soon as Jia Zhang announced the end of the first round, everyone in the audience seats began rushing toward the first floor. Getting mixed up with that crowd's probably not a great idea. Let's get out of here.
네, 저희는 곧바로 홍로 씨의 방으로 이동하도록 하죠.
And we decided to slip out of here before the curious crowd swept us away. However, as we turned around to leave, stood Jia Kiyu in our path.
아, 치우 형님이시군요. 1차 대전에 합격한 걸 축하드려요.
도련님도 합격하셨다죠? 축하드려요. 평생토록 가주 자리에는 일말의 관심조차 보이지 않으셨던 도련님이 어쩐 일로 이렇게 주목을 한 몸에 받으며 가주대전에 나오셨을지.
뭐 갑자기 욕심이 날 수도 있는 거 아니겠어?
욕심을 낸 건 도련님이 아니라 그대들의 회사가 아닐런지.
Well, if our last meeting didn't confirm it, it sure seems like they know us well.
테두리 안에 있자 하였건을 벌써 가생이에서 난장을 피우다니. 가시춘의 뜻에 휘둘리는 걸로 상황이 끝날 것이라 여겼는데. 죽은 도련님을 너무 과대평가한 게 아니신지요?
아직도 너는 아무것도 하지 않으면 아무 일도 일어나지 않을 거라 믿는 것이냐?
전에 인사도 제대로 못 드렸네요, 치우 형님. 가시 가문의 보옥, 정식으로 인사드립니다. 성인이 된 이후론 정식으로 얼굴을 맞대고 인사드리는 게 처음이네요. 그나저나 이화 형님과 경도 씨의 머리는 원래대로 잘 붙여주었나요?
Did you forget already, Heathcliff? Heathcliff was the first to let out a flabbergasted gasp before the other sinners followed suit.
홍원의 형제자매끼리는 항상 저런 식으로 인사를 주고받는 게 일상인가 보죠?
보차 씨가 유별나게 상냥한 타입이었나 봐.
탓할 이유가 없는 물음을 던지는가. 일말의 준비도 없이 제 차례가 왔다며 맨몸으로 불길에 뛰어들었나. 여전히 같은 생각이라면 지금까지 그랬던 것처럼 눈에 띄지 않고 조용히 있는 것이 옳았을 텐데.
That is real interesting that he knows that. You have arrived here unprepared, yet ready to cast yourself into the flames, all for the mere reason that your turn had come. How do you know that?
네, 걱정해 주셔서 감사해요.
관조를 흉내내는 말버릇은 도통 고치질 못하나 보구나.
제가 그랬나요?
Noticing Giakiu's hand tighten around his weapon, Ishmael quickly jumped in.
아, 1차 심사 통과한 후보자끼리 죽이면 안 된다던 규칙, 저만 기억하는 건 아니죠? 계속 위협적으로 나오신다면 저희도 다음 수단을 쓸 수밖에 없다는 점을 알아주시면 좋겠는데요. 오티스 씨, 준비는 끝내둔 거죠?
지원군들은 지금 건물 앞까지 도착한 상태다.
어? 우리한테 지원군이 있어.
벌써 knock him out.
그래서 섣불리 행동하는 것은 2차 선발을 두고 쓸데없는 무력전이 벌어질 수도 있다는 거지.
허장성세로구나. 애당초 무력은 처음부터 내세울 도리가 아니라 생각한다마는.
여기서 너희와 겨룰 생각은 없다. 가보. 제 그릇에 맞지 않은 것을 담으려 하면 큰 화를 피하지 못할 것이다.
그러나 부딪혀 깨어주고 싶다면 그 또한 술리며 섭리일 테죠.
And with that, they turned around and left us. It seemed that they were here only to give us a warning.
조마조마했어요. 가치우 씨랑 그 흑수들이랑 맞붙게 되면.
Oh, I'm 90% sure we will later.
눈치챈 것 같긴 하지만 합은 좋았네요, 오티스 씨.
무례하게 짝이 없는 놈들이었다. 말하는 내내 우리는 쳐다도 보지 않더군.
Zui Baochai peeked out from a pillar before walking up to Hong Lu.
1차 심사 합격한 거 축하해, 보호가. 정말 어떻게 된 일이야? 네가 가주대전에 나올 줄은 꿈에도 몰랐는데.
보차 누나도 1차 심사에서 합격한 걸 축하해.
나한테 숨겼을 정도면 모두에게 알려지지 않길 바랐던 거지?
맞아. 아마 나 때문에 다들 시끌벅적해졌을 것 같네.
괜히 미안해지는구만. 본의 아니게 속인 셈이 되어버렸어.
뭐 어때요? 뻔뻔해지자고요.
이렇게 된 거 네가 가주대전에 나가게 된 걸 다행으로 여기려고. 왜냐하면 내가 가주대전에 나간 사이에 네가 또다시 대관원을 떠날지도 모른다고 생각했거든. 그렇게 되면 너무 섭섭하잖아. 그러니 가주대전에서라도 계속 볼 수 있게 되어서 다행이야. 마주치게 되면 누구보다 반갑게 인사해주기야.
Zwei left us to rejoin her faction, waving sweetly as she did so.
돌아오셨습니까, 도련님?
Hello again, robot maid.
좋은 밤이야, 스핀.
Zyron bowed wordlessly in that same detached coldness we sensed earlier. She did not seem at all excited about her master's success today, nor did she appear to be concerned about him.
보옥 도련님께 서신 하나가 도착했습니다.
너무도 확연하게 봉투에 인장이 뜯겨 있다고 생각하지 않나요?
Oh, did she look through it?
전달하는 것까지가 저의 일일 뿐. 온전한 형태로 지켜야 한다는 건 제 소임이 아닙니다.
Someone else did.
홍로 씨, 이분 당신의 시종 맞나요?
괜찮아요. 틀린 말은 아닌걸요?
수빈, 일로 와봐. 가령이랑 비석치기를 하기로 했었는데 왜 계속 보이지 않아?
아, 그게 말이죠.
You used to have emotion. Oh, okay, so hang on a minute. I thought that she was like some kind of, construct. I'm not gonna say zombie, but some kind of construct. But apparently that's not the case, because you used to be regular. So either you're massive depresso espresso, or you died and got revived and now you're some kind of robot. I don't know.
그러니까요, 도련님. 지난번에 숫자를 어디까지 외우셨죠?
Yikes, you're also terrible at redirecting.
그때 나랑 수빈이랑 열이라는 숫자까지 배웠지. 그러면 100밤까지만 자고 나면 돌아오실 거예요. 100이라는 건 10밤 보내는 걸 10번 반복하면 되는 거랍니다. 와, 그렇구나. 수빈은 엄청 똑똑하네. 자라나면 다 자연스럽게 배우는 것이니까요. 수빈, 10밤을 10번 넘게 보냈는데 가령은 여전히 코빼기도 보이지가 않아. 제가 가령 도련님이 돌아온다고 했었던가요?
Interesting. But then you lost it. So you are depresso espresso.
100밤까지만 자고 나면 다시 돌아온다고 했어.
100밤 가지고서는 택도 없어요, 도련님. 1000밤은 지나야 할 거려. 그 꼴을 당했는데.
그렇구나. 수빈은 역시 언제나 똑똑하네.
가령 도련님은 수년이 지났지만 여전히 몸이 썩어 들어가고 있대요, 도련님. 지금은 몸의 절반이 넘는 부위를 쓸 수 없대요.
저번에 내가 시킨 대로 환약을 주었는데도 그러니?
도련님이 주신 환약은 아무짝에도 쓸모가 없었대요. 뇌까지 같이 썩은 거라 원래대로 회복될 일은 거의 없다고 다른 식솔들이 말하는 걸 들었거든요. 몸이 전혀 제 기능을 하지 못하는 거예요.
죽는 게 나을 정도죠. 그러니까 이제 헛된 기대는 하지 마세요. 스비는 언제나 똑똑하네.
관리자님, 그럼 편지를 읽겠습니다.
Huh? Ah, right. Yeah. As I stood there pondering, Otis walked up to the front with the letter in hand.
소드 과장이로군.
Sold.
여러분, 1차 대전을 합격했다는 소식은 들었어요. 사실은 그 전부터 미리 쓴 편지랍니다. 합격하지 못했으면 이 편지를 받지도 못했을 테니까요.
뭐야?
축하 행사는 접어두죠. 본 게임은 2차 대전부터니까요. 다른 후보들은 이미 2차 대전에 대한 정보를 암암리에 공유하며 작전을 구상하고 있을 게 분명한데 당신들은 어디에도 끼지 못한 채 고립되어 있다가 숙소로 돌아와 제 편지를 읽고 있겠죠.
이 인간 어디서 지켜보고 있는 거 아니야?
그래도 안심하세요. 2차전은 여러분에 한해 작전이랄 게 필요 없는 난전이자 연전이니까.
Oh, well, that's what we excel at.
항상 하던 대로 싸움만 하면 된답니다.
God dang it. He's got me like twice in this video. Eh?
당신들이
That's so
가장 자신 있는 특기 분야죠?
Yes, ma'am.
아니. 더 자세하게 말하고 싶어도 이 편지는 분명 다른 후보가 속한 세가나 일파가 먼저 뜯어보았을 거예요. 여러분은 지금까지의 감과 패기로 원하는 걸 얻어내야 하는 겁니다. 다시 한번 말하지만 저희의 목표는 하나니까요.
2등을 하여 황금가지를 얻는다라는 맥락인 것 같다.
그럼 물러가도록 하죠. 아, 마지막으로 이 편지를 허락 없이 읽은 자들에게는 대대손손 저주가 내릴 것이고 가는 곳마다 불운이 생기며 하는 일마다 망하여
The bottom part of the letter's been torn off. Huh.
무시무시한 끝맺음이네요.
뭐 2차 심사에 대해 더 아는 사람 없나? 마음만 심란해졌는데.
자세한 규칙은 현장에서 직접 들어보는 편이 제일 정확할 듯하군요.
Should we be talking about this right in front of the maid?
듣는 귀와 보는 눈은 어디에든 숨어 있을
Helper?
듯하니.
Servant? What is she? Caretaker?
관리자님, 문 앞에서 인기척이 느껴집니다.
말이 끝나자마자 기습이냐?
그건 아닐 거예요.
She just opens the door. Whatever.
젠장, 다들 무기를 들고 전투 태세를.
Despite her rush, the person by the door was none other than Jia Chichun. She wore an expression that we had grown quite familiar with by now. An interesting combination of annoyance and disappointment. Dude, I like Jia. I so hope that she does not die in this chapter, bro.
혹시나 싶었는데 역시나네. 이렇게 덥석 문 열어주는 꼴을 보아하니. 근데 저희 서로 말 안 하기로 했던 거 아니었?
우리가 좀 조심성이 없긴 했지.
하지만 저희를 죽이러 올 암살자분들 중에서 노크를 할까 말까 망설이고 있을 만큼 친절한 분은 없을 것 같았거든요.
아까 가주대전에서 가무랑 원춘 언니 앞에서 일부러 죽는 모습을 내보였지. 그리고 다시 살아났던 거고.
맞아.
그렇게까지 하는 이유가 뭐야? 오빠는 왜 갑자기 가주가 되려는 거야 대체? 봐봐, 지금도 누구보다 가주 따위엔 관심 없는 듯한 얼굴을 하고 있으면서 정말 저들이 시켰다는 게 다인 거야?
시춘, 만약에 진짜 만약에 우리의 목표가 1등이 아닐 수도 있지 않을까?
I'm with Rodion. Yes! Get her back on our side! Ease the stress. She is going to be a colossal ally. Now that it's already begun. We can't do damage to each other. She knows she is safe around us. We know we are safe around her. Drop the veil completely. Follow Rodion. Drop the veil completely. Let her know that Gia is probably gonna win. I hope. I really hope.
그걸 누가 믿어?
Alright, well, whether she believes it or not is another story entirely, but...
그렇지. 나라도 안 믿겠다.
아무튼 포섭이나 협상을 하러 온 건 아니야. 그건 이제 오빠랑 죽어도 2번 다시는 안 해.
Now, you say that.
But we already know what kind of character archetype that you are.
곧 밤이 찾아올 거니까. 달빛도 제대로 들지 않을 만큼 어두웠잖아. 오빠 방은.
곧 초대받지 않은 객들이 급습할 거다. 라는 뜻인가?
이 상황에서 제일 눈에 가시가 된 오빠를 가만 내버려둘 리가 없지.
But didn't they warn us earlier that round 2 candidates are prohibited from hurting each other? Loophole. They can't hurt us, but their proxies sure can.
서로를 직접적으로 죽이는 것만 피하라는 뜻이었나?
맞아. 우회적인 경로를 통해서는 어떤 식으로든 상관없다는 거지. 그러니 오빠의 시종들도 믿지 마.
Curious choice of words.
직접 여기로 와줘서 고마워. 시춘.
내일은 정말로 적으로 만나는 거야. 이제 와서 바뀌는 것도 없을 테지만 내일이면
Gia stumbled over her words, trailed off, then turned around and left as though she swallowed what she wanted to say.
사실 아가씨께서 여기로 발걸음한다고 하셨을 때 3번을 말렸습니다.
Great, thank you, Wei.
저의 위치에서 3번이나 말린 것은 가당치 않은 일이긴 합니다만 그만큼 아가씨께서는 쉽지 않은 선택을 하셨다는 걸 알아주십시오.
실례인 질문일 수도 있지만 그쪽 상황은 좀 괜찮으신가요?
최선을 다해낼 생각입니다. 부디 마주칠 일이 없길 진심으로 바라겠습니다.
동감이요. 저들과는 서로 해를 가할 일은 없게 되길 바라고 싶구려.
But we have to make it look real, right? So, okay. If the plan is to have, presumably Gia, again, I don't know. If the plan is to have Gia win, then we still have to make it look real. So, if we do run across them, we have to pull our punches. Like, just full stop. We have to pull our punches. But there's also Honglu's later-to-be wife. So, or I guess, spouse. That word exists. We have options here. But, yeah, if we could avoid killing either of them, that'd be cool.
뭐, 그게 생각만큼 마음대로 되겠냐?
An equally fair point from Heathcliff. But Heathcliff sounded just as uneasy. Okay, so Honglu is fixed for this fight. So I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say this might be one of the fights that has mechanics skipped or changed. I don't know. We'll do it twice, though. What did you just say to me?
모든 불은 꺼져야 하기에 밤은 고요하다.
때가 되었네요.
오감을 곤두세워라. 어이, 이 건물에 침입자가 올 수 있는 경로는 어떤 것이 있지?
The window.
일단 상대 쪽에서 암습을
Oh,
하겠다고
good.
마음을 먹으면 어디든 가능한 모양이더라고요. 한 번은 침대 밑에서부터 나오신 적도 있었으니까요.
그건 진짜 무섭겠네요.
Ryoshu, who was leisurely puffing her cigarette as the sinners were looking around in full alert, suddenly pointed up.
위. 천장에 무언가 내려앉는 인기척이 느껴졌다.
Dang, you are so sharp! Haha, sword pun.
아, 천장에 내려앉은 거면 이미 이 방 밖에도 몇 명 더 포진되어 있겠네요.
Hong Lu spoke casually as though he was expecting to have them join us for tea or something.
이야, 감이 좋은데.
Hey, that's my joke! Get your own material, pal! The sinners all whipped around and swung their weapons toward the voice, but the assassin dodged back. Oh no, is he a drunken brawler? The assassin dodged back with ease and chugged from a gourd in his hand.
이 냄새.
Alcohol?
설마 저 자식 도화지에 술 처먹고 있는 거냐?
He is! He's a drunken brawler! Dude. Favorite class? Favorite class? Let's go!
밤중에 일하러 나온 것도 서러운데 술까지 못 마시면 무슨 낙으로 일하겠나. 목표는 가복 도련님 하나다. 빨리 죽이고 돌아가지.
With that, the enemies began flooding into the room. Well, here we go! Furtive Po Dao assailant. Slash. On hit, inflict 2 bleed. Pressuring on use if target has 5+ bleed, clash power +1. On hit, inflict +2 bleed count up to twice. Ruptured image execution. On use, coin power +1 for every 5 bleed on the target, max of 2. On hit, inflict +2 bleed count, then inflict 2 bleed. Then deal +1% damage for every bleed and bleed count on the target, max of 20%. And counter. If target has 6+ bleed, base power +1, on hit, inflict 4 bleed, and inflict 3 defense level down next turn. Damage taken. When hit during the combat phase, plus 10% damage for the turn. When hit during the combat page on Clash Win, plus 20% damage. Prioritizes Hong Lu and focusing on target at 70% plus HP at turn end. If this unit failed to hit Hong Lu with the skill, gain 1 attack power down next turn. At less than 70% HP at turn end, if this unit failed to hit Hong Lu with the skill, inflict +1 more bleed and count next turn. They also have the panic type of Po Dao, which, by the way, I should have been checking these more frequently, but usually it doesn't matter, except for recently. Low morale, you take 10% more damage from unopposed attacks and deal 30% more damage with counterattacks. Oh. And then 10% more damage and 20% more damage when in panic. Okay, so... Yikes. Oh my goodness. What is their clash power? You know what? I think we roll it. Let's do it. We get some absolute resonance, and we're gonna chance this magic bullet. We also have unbreakable coins, so we will get damage regardless. Here we go. Good stuff. We hit who we wanted. Okay, Hong Lu. Oh! Ah, we lost all our clashes on Hong Lu. He did manage to get rid of a few dice, though. And we still get guaranteed damage. Depression mode engaged. Oh my... Dawn got staggered? Holy. Okay. I think we go double favored. You know what? Let's get our horse going. Yeah. Okay, not a great turn. You know what? This might give us a guaranteed stagger. Let's try. This is going to be a nasty turn regardless of what we do, I think. Okay, big damage and a stagger, though. Very useful. Second stagger going down. Okay, Depresso carrying the fight. Okay, how are we gonna do this? I'm going to go for big resonance, I think. So let's go boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. It's messy, but it works. God, Depression stance is so strong on Rodion. And the fact that she can be a tank or do 1,000,000 damage is just, oh, so juicy. We almost get staggered again on Dawn. Dawn has spent most of this fight staggered, in fact. Okay, no Drunken Brawler yet. You know what? Let's try and get Body Sack going. And let's also get What is Cast going. So, boom, boom, boom. Resonance. Bigger roll. Okay, double neutral isn't amazing. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm seeing a couple 1 clashes. Okay, we lose a clash on Yisong. Unfortunate. What is cast? Yeet. Now, despite the fact that we spent SP to use What is Cast, we ignore the first panic that we get on Rodion. Okay, Dawn is back into positive, but she is staggered. Let's see. Big AoE damage. Then, get Absolute Resonance. Absolute Resonance again. Yeah, and then this will be lightly empowered. Let's do it. Behold. Honglu just got a double kill. Oh, if we would have landed multiple heads, we would have gotten up to 2 coffin stacks for Heathcliff. Oh, big damage. It's alright, we're alright. Ah, no stagger though. Alright, Honglu's in a tricky spot. Let's ensure his swift recovery. We are dominating across the board. I like that. And we're also preventing all damage from going to Honglu. Good. Neutral. We win. We win. You're dead. Okay, unless we only hit 1 heads. Ouch. Heathcliff loses the counter game, but he doesn't lose this one. I love that voice line so much. Fun fact, that particular voice line only happens if he hits Tails. Otherwise, it's a more held back version. But we win. Oh, I saw him for a split second. Glug, glug.
뭐야? 아직도 안 끝났어?
이전 사이와라는 놈도 그렇고 이자들 생각보다 우리를 허접하게 계산하는군. 이 정도 숫자로 우리를 전복시킬 수 있을 거로 생각했나?
에휴, 골 아프게 소리 지르기는.
An early hangover. Wow, that's a that's a unique way to say that.
사신의 사고 뭉치하고 비교하면 마음이 좀 아프단 말이지.
조심하세요, 오티스. 저자는 동행한 자들과는 전투력에서 큰 차이를 보입니다.
혼자서 여유를 부릴 이유가 있다. 그건 소속과 이름을 밝혀라.
이 바닥에서 그런 걸 의포될 사람이 있겠어? 될 이름도 소속도 없지. 그렇게 오래 살아오니 멋대로 붙여진 이름은 있긴 하지. 한 손에는 술병을 들고 나타나 야음 속으로 사라지니 세상에서 취수 야객이라 부르더이다.
Oh boy. He has 1,000 health. Alright, Night Drifter of the Drunken Palm. Frontal Swirl. If target has 5+ bleed, base power +1. On use, gain 1 swig. Max of 5. Turn end at 3 stack. Heal 3% of HP. Core part. Okay, so your chest. Turn end at 5 stack. Gain 3 attack power up and 2 fragile next turn. On hit, inflict 5 bleed. Way of the Open Throat Chugging. Base power +1 for every 5 bleed on target, max of 2. On use, gain 1 swig, and on hit, inflict +2 bleed count up to twice. Intoxicated Leaning. Kinda surprised he doesn't have an evade skill, if I'm honest. On use, gain 5 shield for every swig on self, max of 25. On use, gain swig equal to the number of skills targeting this unit, max of 5. Oh, that sucks. Well, hick, this won't do. At 50% health, recover from stagger and end this turn. Fix this unit speed to 10 next turn. Fix panic, panic can't change. Prioritize Hong Lu. You deal a bunch more damage. Plastered Training. Deal +2% damage for every 1% missing HP on self, up to 100% more. Holy. If this unit failed to hit Hong Lu, gain 3 offense level down rather than the attack power at 70%. If you failed, gain 6 offense level next turn. Sanity is Po Dao as per the usual. Oh boy. Okay, and we can choose our targets for this one. Alright. This one's gonna be a brutal one, isn't it? This might take us a few tries. I think we got a bit of a bad speed roll. Either way, I think this is gonna take us a couple of attempts. Time to find out! Okay, early stagger is really good though, because it prevents a lot of damage. Hong Lu's dead. Yeah, Hong Lu's dead. I think this fight is over. Okay. Is that the world's quickest restart? Well, Hong Lu is not allowed to do any attacks for the rest of the fight. But he did live. Is there any reason to keep this attempt going? Like that's literally just it. Like we're doomed. If one attack gets through to Hong Lu, he's dead. If Hong Lu makes a single attack, he's dead. Okay. Well, I did just say this is probably going to take us a couple of attempts. And it looks like I was right.
Alright, tough guy, let's try this one on for size.
Yeah, alright. That's fine. We get Dullahan next turn regardless. Okay, a ton of free damage. Okay, 54, not terrible for the very first attack. Ow. So, thinking about it, we have to let the unbreakable coins hit Hong Lu later into this fight. We have to let legit, like, there is no getting around it. If the unbreakable coins don't hit Hong Lu, he gets 6 offense level up, which is far too much. Okay, let's think. Okay, we can safely ignore both of you. You know what? Superbia. Now, as for what we want to use. I think that's quite obvious, don't you? Let's get some resonance going. Oh, yikes. Alright, try anyway. Dominating here, and we also get quite a bit of hits. We're favored regardless of which we hit here. I'm real tempted to go for what is cast. However, we're favored here, and then I'm gonna try and take this guy just completely out. Just get him out of this fight completely. The less people we have to worry about in this fight, the better. Behold, the might of a magical girl! We are going to take the fattest counters you've ever seen, by the way. But we get a ton of healing and free damage. Ooh, no counters. Really? Stack of coffin? Dang, if only we hit heads. Good stuff. You know, sinking on him might not be the best, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, not too late now. Ah! Otis has been letting me down lately. gotta tell you. Okay, Mr. Heathcliff, get a kill so you get a stack of coffin. Then, we have to stop as much damage as possible. He does not have 3+ swig, so these are not unbreakable coins. Which one's Heathcliff going for? This one? Okay. Which one can Hong Lu act? Oh, he can pretty much counter all of them. Okay. Counter this one so he loses swig. We're dominating here. And then I think we kind of just let him do damage. Yeah. We're trying to maximize passive value. By the way, Heathcliff did not kill. The guy has 2 health. Unfortunate. Okay, apparently nobody is killing right now. SP does not exist. Okay, we get a stagger on Night Shifter, or whatever, Night Drifter. Shifter. I'm thinking of that analog horror game. Okay. Let's do this as smartly as we can. I think... You know what? This turns into a kill. Defense. Defense. We're favored, although how's our SP doing on Otis? Not good enough. Okay. This should be maximum value. Let's find out. Almost max value. Either way, that's less people we have to worry about. Oh, he hit the health threshold. HP does not drop below 1 before the skill ends. On use, gain 10 offense level up. On use, gain 5 attack power up. On use, gain 10 damage up. Deal 1% damage, more damage, for every bleed and bleed count on target, and on hit, gain 5 swig. Oh, good. 10 plus 20. Oh, okay.
That really sucks for you, don't it, pal?
That really sucks for you, don't it, pal?
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
Great job, Honglu. I cannot believe you actually just straight up won that clash. What a Chad. I cannot believe Honglu just straight up won that. Sinking to the rescue, apparently. I don't think we're gonna kill him in time. Although, we've got some heavy hits. No, we got him. We got him. Ryoshu will absolutely finish off if no one else does. Yeah, Ryoshu's got this. Get him, Ryoshu. Get him! Oh my god, he survived.
이제 네 놈만 남았다.
Would we really call that a victory? Honglu won the clash and still died. Alright, well, fair enough.
주인도 지키지 못한 죄지. 이상하리 마치 당당하군.
He doesn't know that the sinners can come back from death.
뭐 보옥 도련님의 목숨을 취했으니 여기서 빠지는 편이 좋겠지. 뇌까지 확실히 뭉개두었기도 하고. 내 밑에서도 좀 배우셨으면 비슷하게는 싸워봤을 것을.
And the intruder disappeared from the room without another word. And after a brief break, I revived the dead sinners.
대체 어떤 가문에서 보낸 건지.
We had him dead to rights. He cheated.
아까 그 가츠오라는 놈이 보낸 거 아니야? 눈빛 여전히 살벌하더만.
아까 홍루 씨를 보고 눈빛이 살벌했던 자들이 어디 한둘이었나요?
야, 괜찮냐? 혹시 정신이 횟가닥한 거면 후딱 다시 시계 돌려달라 해.
아니요. 조금 생소해서요. 원래는 여기서 습격이 있을 때마다 이 건물이 한없이 넓기만 하다고 생각했었거든요. 그런데 여러분들이랑 있으니까 이렇게 또 북적거리는 공간도 없네요.
그게 무슨 일이야?
뭐 우리가 있으니까 든든하다는 말 아니겠어?
And with that, I believe that's gonna do it for this episode of The Limbus Company. Hey, all things considered, I'm okay. I'll say it. I'm actually, so far, I'm really invested in Honglu's chapter. Honglu's chapter is actually like, so far, it's got me. Like, for example, Don's chapter. I liked Don's chapter, but the introduction to it felt very slow. It really felt like it was dragging its feet, to me. getting to the message it wanted to get to and the story it wanted to get to. Hong Lu's to be fair, Heathcliff kind of felt that way too, but still. Hong Lu's chapter, on the other hand, has started at a jog and kept the pace the entire way so far. Maybe it won't keep that, I don't know. But so far, Hong Lu's chapter is like, it's doing pretty solid. Let's see if it sticks the landing. But for the moment, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. By the way, this is my brand new ID card. This is probably how I'm going to keep it. I really like the blue and the pink. I think it's pretty. Plus, unintentionally, it's the colors of Queen of Hatred. So, even more reason to keep it. Bye.